water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony.
So today I'm doing elemental inspired makeup looks. This is again something that my friend Steph requested or sort of suggested that I do, and I thought it would be a lot of fun. I'm trying to do 4 looks today and I've got about the 3 hours to do it. So I'm gonna just jump straight in and not have a really long intro. And yeah, we're just gonna jump straight into it. So first up is fire. I knew what I wanted to do with this one going in. I wanted to go for something kind of cartoony. I was thinking a little bit of Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. So I started by taking a red eyeshadow on a flat packing brush, and you can see I'm doing kind of windshield wiper motions to sort of trace out the shape that I wanted, and then I'm patting on that color as well to sort of intensify the pigmentation. If you see me sort of staring into that specific place, it's because I was watching a film at the same time as doing this. So it does happen a few times where I get a little bit distracted and just sort of look into that location, but just ignore it. I'm sorry. And then I'm taking that same red eyeshadow and going along the lash line as well. And then I'm drawing that out into 3 separate little like flames and connecting those 2 lines together then. So the one for the top and the one along the lash line are being connected through those little flames. And once I have those all drawn on and got it all connected and pigmented and whatever else, I go in with a orange color. And okay, I'm still doing the red. I didn't realize how long I was doing the red for. Sorry guys. Nope, now I'm distracted again. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm going in with the orange color and I'm patting that right below the red so that obviously you get the layers of the different colors that are in the flames. And distracted again. Okay, cool. Once I had that orange packed on, just exactly the same pattern as the red, I put on a little bit of concealer to clean it up and put yellow over top of the concealer, and then used a little bit more concealer to clean up the edges of the flame and some brown on the lower lash line. Whew, a lot happened very quickly there. My voice could not keep up. So for the other eye, I wanted to stick with the kind of cartoony theme and take some gray shadow to make some eyeshadow, to make some smoke. Rather. So I'm packing on that gray shadow in kind of a just random rounded-esque shape, and then taking a black liquid liner and sort of tracing around the edges of that, as well as adding some little like swirls and things to just make it look a little bit cartoony and fun and cloud-like. And then I took a little bit of white liner as well to add some highlights and some concealer around the outside just to make sure that there wasn't any like gray shadows poking out through, because I was going for a very stylized kind of cartoony-esque look, and that was the finished product. I'm such a nerd. For water, I was actually inspired by this specific photo. This is Ariane Peloise, photographed by Max Abedian with makeup by Leslie Ann Thompson. I've definitely pronounced some of those names wrong and I'm really sorry about that, but it's just like that shimmery blue eyeshadow with the very wet finish was immediately something I knew I had to take inspiration from. So I did change the shape of the eyeshadow. You can see I've kind of almost given it a wing-like shape. I was going for like a fin or a wave or something to that effect, but it turns out it looks a little bit more like a wing, which is fine. It still got the job done. I was originally going to leave it just the blue shimmer shadow and the wet sort of finish to it, but I ultimately decided to turn it into a bit more of a cresting wave and took this white liquid liner and drew these little dots all over that like wing to make it a little bit more reminiscent of an ocean wave. And I did that on both sides and ended up taking a blue liquid liner as well to draw a few more dots in, just to sort of add some depth and like movement almost, so that you kind of got the feeling of the wave. Did it go 100% the way I thought that it would? No. But I still think it looked pretty cool and got across the point I was going for. I then took some eye gel and packed that on top to give it that sort of wet finish. I know some people have done this with lip gloss to give that kind of glossy lid, but I don't really have any clear lip gloss. And the stuff that I do have has like menthol or something in it, and I didn't really want to know what would happen if I put that near my eye. So I thought I'd play it safe and just use the eye gel. I put it on this flat brush and then patted it on. In retrospect, I wish I just used my fingers and possibly squeezed it directly onto the eye. I think that would have looked a little bit better, but it still got the job done. It still did what I wanted it to do and gave it that kind of glossy finish. You can sort of see it on camera, not 100%, but it did what I wanted it to, and I'm happy with it. So yay. Then was earth, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I started by taking a kind of minty green and applying that really lightly into the crease in hopes that something would come to me between doing this and finishing the look. Was a minty green the best starting color for an earthy look? Some would argue no. I would probably argue no in retrospect, but it worked for what I ended up doing, so I'm not going to question it too much. But you can see I'm just doing that really lightly into the crease with a nice big fluffy brush. And then I'm taking a more true green because I realized that the minty green was maybe a silly idea. And I'm taking that on a smaller fluffy brush and using that to sort of darken up that color and again, bring more of an earthy tone to it. Did it work? Sort of. Then I took this sort of olivey green, which is for some reason the only color that I decided to show to the camera. Same brush again and just sort of deepened that crease again. Oh look, it's a disclaimer. So if you don't know, I film my videos on my phone, and during the filming of this look, I got a phone call and I answered my phone, and I think I got a teeny bit of foundation or just some kind of smudge over the camera, and I didn't realize until I was editing the next day. So for the rest of this look, which was the last one I filmed, so just this one, it is going to be, I don't know, the color just seems a little bit off. I don't know if blurry or faded is the right word, but yeah, just so you know. Sorry. And then I went in to cut that crease using my small concealer brush that I've used for this for so long. People recommend using bigger brushes than this. I'm just happy that this one does the job, and blended that color down. Then I took a pink and a white eyeliner, and I did the same thing with both colors. I did 3 of each on both eyes. I just drew teeny little like cross shapes. You could definitely do more than the 4 if you wanted to make more petals in these little flowers. I was lazy and on a time limit, so I just did the little crosses, but totally got the point across. People knew that they were little daisies, so I'm all good with that. And then I just took a yellow liner again and used them to make some little, what are they called, the center of a flower? I don't actually know. And then I took some brown shadow underneath my lower lash line just to sort of balance out the eye, and finished it off with a bit of mascara and called that a day, which I thought was cute. I thought it turned out really well, actually. People thought it was really pretty, and I enjoyed wearing it. So you can't see air, so I can just do nothing, right? That was a bad joke. So for air, I was inspired by Pocahontas's whole paint with all the colors of the wind thing. So I decided to do a rainbow cut crease sort of as my beginning bit. I'm not going to go into it too much because I've already got a cut crease tutorial on my channel, a rainbow cut crease tutorial on my channel rather, which I'll link on screen. And then I took a bit of a white eyeliner and did probably the nerdiest thing I've ever done, and drew the chemical symbols for nitrogen and oxygen on my eye. I did it so that it was the right way in the mirror, and then obviously my camera flipped that. So it's backwards for you. It would be backwards in real life. It was poor planning on my part, and I'm sorry. But I just did those, drew them on with some white eyeliner. I tried to be pretty careful with it, but I struggled with some of the smaller numbers. And I also flipped it so that they were mirror images. Not mirror images because they're different, but you know what I mean. Which is not scientifically accurate, but it looks a lot nicer. So there's that. And then I just finished off the look with a little bit of mascara and called that done because it was done. Yeah, so that was the final look there. I forgot to film an outro. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week. And I didn't say it in the intro, but for some reason. But happy Saturday. I hope you had a great day. I've never actually seen Avatar, so the opening there was a little bit of a lie.